Hello, welcome to my channel. In this video we will talk about natural remedies for uterine fibroids. Thousands of women around the world, including myself, have used natural treatments for uterine fibroids as an alternative to surgery or hormone therapy. Surgery can be painful and has risks. Hormone therapy is usually only a short-term treatment due to side effects and is usually only used to treat uterine fibroids before surgery. What many women don't realize is that neither surgery nor hormone therapy are necessarily permanent treatments. Fibroids can regrow, except for a hysterectomy, unless the cause is removed. In most cases, no thought is given at all to prevent their return. It was this stark fact that made me decide to try the natural remedies for uterine fibroids. I've had horrible uterine fibroid symptoms for many years, but I had absolutely no idea why they happened. I was completely bloated and looked very pregnant, and I can't seem to lose weight no matter how hard I try. I had floods during my periods, often having to wear 2 heavy incontinence pads at a time. I've also had urine leakage when I cough or try to exercise. I often had shortness of breath and anemia, yet the fibroids were not diagnosed in several doctor visits. In fact, when I mentioned my concerns about my stomach bloating to a doctor, he checked it out and said it was belly fat. I now know I was overweight, but nevertheless, my stomach felt hard, and looking back now, all my symptoms combined should have added to one thing: fibroids. One of my close friends said my stomach doesn't look right. Suddenly it was as if she had lit a lamp in my head. Of course it was not normal. I booked an appointment with another doctor and was diagnosed with uterine fibroids almost immediately. Looks like my belly was the size of a 7-month pregnancy. I was relieved to finally know the cause, but also very afraid, as a hysterectomy was advised and reserved for later. I was also told that I would have to take some strong medication to reduce the size of 2 of my largest fibroids, as this would make the surgery less risky. I asked at the time if there were any natural treatments for uterine fibroids that I could use in lieu of surgery, but was told there was nothing I could do and was due to start drug treatment a few weeks later, with the operation booked for a while. About 16 weeks after that. Like many people once diagnosed, I went online. Sometimes what you read is very scary, but I felt so happy. I've found true stories of hundreds of women who have used natural treatments for uterine fibroids with great success, with many avoiding any other treatment at all. I decided to give it a try, as I had absolutely nothing to lose. During my research, I found different treatments for uterine fibroids. What is found is that knowing the cause is important, because it is not the same for every woman, and what caused the fibroids determines the correct treatment. One popular theory about fibroids is that some women's bodies are naturally prone to inflammation, and that this wasn't the result of anything wrong they were doing. In fact, it may be hereditary. For these women, it would be beneficial to eat naturally anti-inflammatory foods. These foods include rosemary and hops. Cumin spice, also useful. Estrogen is also known to be the cause of uterine fibroids, and therefore women with an excess of this hormone are more likely to develop fibroids. Estrogen is thought to be produced by fat cells, so it is wise to make efforts to stay a healthy weight and exercise regularly. In addition, some pollutants can mimic estrogen, and it is stored in the liver. Some natural treatments for uterine fibroids include detoxification, to rid the liver of these substances. Chinese medicine is well known for its healing properties and has been shown to play an active role in cleansing the genitals and removing toxins. Sometimes this alone can help the fibroids start to shrink in size. In my own case, I knew within 2 weeks that something was going on. At first I wondered if the puffiness was going down. However, within a couple of months, my clothes were loose and I didn't look pregnant. I went back to my doctor for an additional checkup in order to receive the supposed hormonal treatment, and upon my examination, the doctor thought she was confusing me with another patient. I came out of my original scans and was amazed at the shrinkage of the fibroids. There she then decided to continue with the natural treatments for uterine fibroids and put off a hysterectomy. To cut the long story short, in the end I cancelled it completely, and my doctor confirmed it was not necessary. The fibroids were so small that they weren't causing me any symptoms. In fact, the examination showed that some of the small tumors had completely disappeared. Please, after you have finished watching the video, we advise you to look at the links in the description. There is something very important and useful waiting for you. Fibroids are an ideal case to treat naturally because they are rarely life-threatening. This means that delaying conventional treatment should not have ill effects, although you may want to confirm that this is the case in your individual circumstances. Just some of the things I discovered, that you can learn too. The shocking truth about traditional medical treatments. How to reduce heavy menstrual bleeding and pain immediately. What foods cause fibroids and which foods help fight them. Dietary supplement that stops the growth of fibroids immediately. Supplements that shrink fibroids. Common household items that are harmful to your health. Herbal remedies that shrink fibroids and treat the root cause. In the end, please activate the bell button, subscribe to the channel, to receive from us all that is new. For more information about natural remedies for uterine fibroids, please visit my own site. You will find the website link in the description. Thank you.